Funny. It's crazy hot. Yeah, maybe I didn't give enough time for this live. This was kind of just spur of the moment. I realized that it's the solstice, and I needed to do some readings for the people. I'm trying to get out the astrology readings, right? Just having delays. Things are delayed. Going between the things that I got to do and the things that I want to do, kind of thing. But I wanted to do this, and yeah, for now, I'm just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for some folks to get in. I see. Looks like somebody arrived. What's up, people? I got a couple likes going on. That's what's up. But yeah, it's the solstice time. Yo, you gotta excuse me. My room got a little hot about an hour ago, and I'm not really understanding why. But I got the fan blowing, so I hope that doesn't mess up the sound. But yeah, it is the solstice time, right? So it's the time of the solstice. It's the time. Okay, so what's happening? Why do we say this is the solstice? Why do we say this time is special? Well, it's special because okay. So what happens is that it's hot. Obviously, it's summertime. The sun is closer to the planet than at any other time of year, and especially on the next not the next from the 21st through the 24th. Those 4 days, the sun is pretty much at its closest point, right? And before it starts to go the other way, right, when it gets at its furthest point away, and then we start to get the coldness of winter, right? Before that happens, it stays still for 4 days, right? And these are the 4 days. Happens in the summer and it happens in the winter. Now, on these 4 days, we have an opportunity to go into trance and you know, work on what's going on. The opportunity to come and you know do stuff. You know what I mean? To incorporate things into our being, to alleviate things from our being. Right. So this is that time. This is the time that you should be doing a lot of meditating. Right over the 21st to the 24th, because when the sun is moving and things are moving, it's like your conditionings have like a ball of momentum, right? Or moving, you know, you got momentum. You know what I'm saying? The conditionings are on go already. So what happens when the sun stops? You got a chance to do something, right? It's hard when you're doing like this. It's hard to like iron things out and get things are moving, right? So when things calm down, then we have the opportunity now to you know, go inside and actually do some work, right? Fasting, it's important. right now, fast, to cleanse yourself, because, you know, during this time, the spirits understand what's going on. So they get close. They come close, and they know that we are more receptive. So if you got anything to learn, your spirit is teaching you, now is when they're going to be giving it to you. They're going to be coming to you, in your dreams heavy, right? And in your meditations, right? So, you want to be meditating. You want to, be, if you can take off from the 21st to the 24th, if your job will allow you to go ahead and take off or something like that, if you got a, cushy situation, you can go ahead and do that, then I would totally suggest to do that. You know what I mean? Because, on the other side of the 24th, there are, you know, doors to open, right? Within the spirit, right? And doors in the world, whatever you're cultivating, right? You have the best chance at really manifesting that right now, right? This time, and also in the winter time during the 21st through the 24th of December, right? So yeah, get your fast on. Fast for a few days, you know what I'm saying? It's not so much to not eat. It's got to be, not detached. Be detached is what I mean, not attached is what I'm saying. It's like, the key to beating any addiction, right? The key, this is the key. Anybody dealing with addiction, know what I'm about to say. The key to beating addiction is to grasp hold of the feeling of contentment, right? What you want is content. You want to be content, right? To the point that you can get content with just simplicity, right? Maybe it's just you. Maybe you just content with just, reading a book tonight, watching TV tonight, having a conversation tonight, um, you know, having some company over, whatever it may be, right? When you get content and you say, all right, I don't need that cigarette, you know what I mean, because I'm cool, right? You got to analyze that feeling that you get when you reach for the cigarette, right? What's that feeling? That feeling is an angst. That feeling is something that you got to do. Oh, I got to do something. So you grab the cigarette, or you could be thinking about it already because it's conditioning, right? You could be, coming in the house, right? Or I don't know, yeah, yeah, maybe you could be on break, right? That's a good one, right? People know that their break time is coming up at work, and they know what they're going to do. Like, they not only do they know they're going to do it, their body is already making them do it, right? So they already got they still at the job. They about 2 seconds from clocking out for break. They got their cigarette ready, they got their lighter ready, and they ready to go. But that's how it be. You know what I'm saying? People be into what they into. People be on their conditionings, right? So it's contentment. You got to say, all right, wait, I know I don't want to smoke, right? So let me chill. Let me just see how I feel right now without it. You know what I'm saying? And if you can keep your mind in that place, right, then eventually you'll forget about it. You don't even need a cigarette. You know what I mean? If you could place your mind there and be there, you got to be awake. If you're asleep, that's, like, the conditioning is what you'll be living if you're sleepwalking, right? Because if you're asleep, you're just going to, oh, yeah, I'm about to take a break. I got to get a cigarette. And it's automatic condition. You know what I'm saying? But when you wake up, you wake yourself up. You snap up out of that. You can say, wait a second. It's not actually what I want to do. Let's see. You know what I mean? There's other things that I can do, right? When you wake up, right? But yeah, back to contentment, right? Being content, right? Being like, all right, I don't need a cigarette. You could be like, all right, I need a cigarette bad, right? You could be like that, right? At that moment, say, look, I'm gonna give it 5 minutes. Try to wait your cigarette urge out for 5 minutes. You can do it. 5 minutes. Just do something else. Play a song or something, right? Play two songs, 5 minutes, right? And during that time, you're gonna concentrate on how you feel. How do you feel? You know, and then, like, if you're, okay, you get yourself to a point where you breathe, right? And you make yourself feel a peace, right? You right? You calm down, right? And then you go ahead and analyze that calm while you're in it, right? And then after the 5 minutes pass, you'll choose to stay in that calm, right? Either that or your animal is awake and fully woke and you pressed and you got to have your cigarette, right? So it's a matter of who's going to win at that point. You know what I mean? When you stop to, calm yourself and you decide, right? That's, your will. You're putting your will online at that point. Now, its opposition is going to be your animal, right? Your conditionings, those things that you do because that's what you do, right? Right? That's going to be the opposition to your will, right? So, you know, it's about a fight. You got to have a fight, right? That's it. You got to have a fight. So, I say, I never expect the whole stampede of folk. You know what I'm saying? So, I see a couple people looking around like, we here for readings. Anybody, if you want readings, step up, put your question in, and we go. Oh, okay. So this is the thing. We stare in this thing, right? We're trying to get this thing to where you have some guidance for you on the solstice time, right? The solstice is the 21st through the 24th, right? Special days, right? I just said a whole bunch of stuff about that. But you want to have some guidance, right? You want to ask the oracle what you should be focused on. What deific energy or what aspect. See, yeah, a lot of stuff we gotta clear up, right? Right. So it's not just deities, right? I have the, it's not just deities that we're dealing with, right? It's just not, it's not some external, I'm going to call the deities. It's not what we do when we say we're going to Heru. It's not what we do when we say we're going to, Sebek, right? What we are doing is awakening aspects of the being, right? Right now, I'm speaking through Sebek, right? I'm using my Sebek, I'm speaking through my Sebek faculty, right? I am, using the a sphere of my being, right? And a sphere just happens to govern a whole bunch of other things, right? But this is what I'm using right now. So if I need to tap into this energy to access some other thing, right, that this governs, then that's what I'll do. I'll tap into this particular, the mercurial energy, right? The energy that turns on your faculty of intelligence, turns on your faculty of communicating, right? Your faculty of sequentially ordered thought process, right? And you get your speak on, right? Same thing with everything, right? So, at all times we're dealing with God, right? God is what we deal with, period, right? And we can say we dealing with God when we dealing with setback because that's who we are, right? We dealing with God when we dealing with any of the deities because that's what's, at the head is God, right? God has many different parts. So we deal with the parts. Now in the Metu Neter, these cards here, what's special about these cards is they show you what part is applicable at what time, right? They show you, what part you need to be, dealing with for this circumstance. Has comment on what I need to do to get this job. Well, that job is going to be dependent on your head hair root faculty, right? So then you get on your head haru stuff, right? It's not, oh, dealing with you going to the deities, this and that. Say, yeah, they're deities and they exist outside of you, but they exist within you as your aspects, right? So we got to understand that we were taught about our African, our ancient indigenous, right? Whether it's African or any other part of the indigenous world, right? We were taught about this stuff by people who didn't respect it. So they made it weird to you, right? They made you think it was weird to, deal with a deity, right? And they didn't understand a lot of this stuff either. A lot of them just was like, oh wow, well, that's a god, that's a different god, oh that's a different god. But they didn't understand this understanding that we had about how all of them are connected as one, right? It's a different understanding. It's not regular, right? Right? The understanding of a singular diversity, right? Where it's a whole bunch, but it's still just one thing, right? This is a whole bunch, but it's still just one thing. I mean, that is what God is. That is what the universe is. It's one thing composed of a whole bunch of other little things, right? So yeah, we gotta understand the whole, man. We gotta understand the whole. You know, we have to understand the whole. Because we get confused for the parts. We die for the parts, right? The parts blind us. We get blinded by the parts. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah. So we here. We are here, right? And I am pretty much just rambling on. You know what I'm saying? Um, so what I will do is go ahead and do a collective. energy read. See what happens. See what comes up. Right. We'll do a read, and we'll see what happens. Right. See what's in the energy. Right. So with the collective, it's the general focus. Right. We'll say what's the general focus. Right. For the solstice. Right. 4 days of the solstice from the 21st through the 24th, right? And y'all gonna be in your own, right, meditating, right? Talking about spiritual focus. Look at this. Stop playing with me. I'm in, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was just talking about. This is contentment, okay? This is being at peace. This is contentment, right? So this is how you know. You see what I'm talking about. You know, God says, let me give you a little bit of confirmation. Yeah, contentment. This is what you're gonna be on for the next 4 days, or not the next 4 days. Wait a day and then do it. But yeah, you looking at being content, right? Being content with yourself. You don't need the TV. You don't need the radio. You don't even need your computer. What you need all that for? You got you. You know what I'm saying? You got your mind. You know what I'm saying? You could close your mind and go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all ain't ready to hear all that. Y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't hear all that. All right, let's do what you can read. All right, here we go. You can read for the solstice. What should we focus on? Straight, open stress, straight open stress, open, straight open stress, open, open, open stress, open stress, close, open stress, closed. Aha. This is the 27 into the 61. 27 is nourishment, right? But it's not necessarily nourishment that you thinking about, right? This is what you're putting in your mind, right? And it also can speak to what you put in your body or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. But for the most part, this is nourishment for the mind. What happens in the mind, right, is going on at this particular nourishment. So at that second line, right, you're being led astray, right? Someone is trying to lead you down the wrong path, right? Someone is, appealing to some low aspect that you would like to nurture, right? And so, you are perhaps being led astray, right? So watch out for that. At the fifth line, right up here, the fifth line, you're dealing. This is a situation where you have a temptation, right? you know, okay, say, you're fasting right now. Now, right now we're fasting, right? Or not right now, but in a couple of days. Really, technically, I'm fasting. But in a couple of days, you get a little hungry, you want to eat, right? Well, it's a temptation, right? It's like, you don't have to eat. You're not even at your wits end about it, right? But you like, I'm still feeling that I want to eat. You know what I mean? So, it's like you're basically being tempted. That line, the fifth line, is a situation where it's like you got all kinds of, and that was actually a bad example because that was kind of tame. This is more so on the lines of more seductive kind of pleasures. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got seductive pleasures in your face, and you have the temptation to go and get with it, right? That's what's going to be going on during the solstice, right? I mean, it's not, I say seduction, but it could be simple things, right? you know but during the solstice, ultimately you want to concentrate on, you want to place your mind in a particular place, in a pure place, right? So it's like, you don't really want to be dealing with the external stuff, right? This is a time to go within, right? You don't want to, like the TV, the radio, whatever, YouTube's going off and all that time. You know what I mean? Because why? We got to go inward. We got to cultivate. First of all, you got to see what's tankering. What's going on around in here, right? Then you got to deal with it, right? Can't do that with YouTube on. Can't do that with the radio on. You know what I'm saying? So no, this is something to attend to. 27 to the 61. 61 is the hexagram of inner truth. This is a hexagram of clairvoyance, right? So this is saying that if you can properly attend to your nourishment, right? Don't go down the wrong path, right? Even though somebody's trying to lead you down the wrong way, don't do that. Stay on the right path, right? Attend to your fast, attend to your purity, attend to what it is that you're doing, right? And don't be tempted, right? If you can do this, then this is waiting for you, right? I can tell you that I've had solstices where, I can spit out some of my solstice experiences. I'll be like, yeah, right. I'll be like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? But it's true. Yeah. What's my trusty rag? Yeah, man. The solstice is no joke. I'm telling you that, you could be someone who doesn't normally get all kinds of crazy dreams and whatnot like that. But if you do this, you won't get this. This is what's going to happen. That 61 inner truth. This is about, if you notice, this looks a lot like the trigram Li, right? Li, which is clarity, right? With yang line, yang line, right? Only this is doubled, right? So 61 has something to do with sight, right? Something to do with what you can see, right? What you know, right? This is a lot about, like I said, this is, it's about clairvoyance to, on many, many, many levels, right? Um, yeah, so that's what's going on. Put this with the Amen, right? We got Amen Hetep, right? And you got this here 27 into the 61, right? You're talking about being content, right? All of this, right? What you nourishing yourself with is mantras, right? You want to be putting mantras into your head. You want to be having your meditation scripts, right? Dealing with your conditionings. You have to, if you don't know what your conditionings are, then you have to do meditations for the spirit to reveal that to you. Go to Offset. Offset will show you your conditionings, right? And what's that, right? I just said go to Offset, right? It sounds like I'm saying go to that deity that's way out there somewhere. What I just said was turn on your memory. That's what I just said. I said turn on your memory, right? And the way you turn on your memory is through dealing with the mantra of Offset, right? That mantra of Offset awakens things within you. You know what I'm saying? It awakens things with you. You can, I always go back to this. You can verify uh, the use of mantras by just when you go, I mean, that's the best example. Or when you go, what's that about? What are you trying to do? You're trying to get back to center. You're going right? What is Om? Om is the master mantra for the deity, the Godhead, right? The aspect of you that is directly connected with the Creator, right? So remember that, right? Remember that. Okay. So we got Amen, heads up. We got the 27 to the 61. Let's see what the tarot talk about. For the collective. All right, let's do this. Dropping messing up the topics. Right. All right. Got 30 adversity in the mix. This is life we talking about, right? Life will give you adversities. If you can deal with them in peace, then you will get spiritual gifts. It's just true. All right. Brother man, shuffle getting great. Remember my shuffle used to be all messed up? All right, here we go. For the collective during the solstice, what are we dealing with? Um, 3 cards. Okay. Oh, that's not what we're doing. We're doing this. All right, so let's see here. Firstly, we got the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. So we have this is the prison mentality, right? Someone is in prison. Someone is in jail for MC assault. Yeah, so the Eight of Swords is, you're stuck. You're in jail. You're in a prison. You're trapped in obsession. You're trapped in addiction, right? You're trapped in something, right? Something got you trapped, right? You could be trapped on some love situation. You could be whipped, right? You could be, somebody could just be in your ear and you got to do everything they say, right? You are controlled, right? Contract and controlled, right? I think I just lost some of my light. All right. All right. All right. That's how we gonna do that. Okay. All right. So then we're talking about the. Okay. So we said someone is dealing with all kinds of entrapment. See, what's happening is this is the solstice, right? What happens is at the solstice or during the solstice, you deal with your traps, right? This is the time that you're dealing with those things that you know you need to put down. Those things that you know are not good for you, you need to put them down. This is where you deal with it, right? You got a trap because you smoke too much, or you can have a trap because you deal with this toxic individual that you gotta deal with. You can't stop dealing with this person, right? You're trapped. You're in the Eight of Swords right here. All right, now, speaking of a toxic individual, we got a King of Pentacles in the reverse, right? King of Pence in reverse, right? This guy is materialistic, right? He is flashy. You know what I mean? He's a showboat. He's, you know, insincere, right? He one of them dudes. He one of them dudes that think, his money is everything. You know what I mean? He think that he can rule everything with his money, right? And everybody will submit to him based upon his money. And this is true to a certain degree, but there's obviously this guy awakening because that's not life. That's not law. 100%. You know what I mean? So he's gonna get it. But yeah, I don't know if this guy is trapped or this guy's in jail or yeah, I think it was that. This guy's in jail. This guy's in some prison. Okay, and the world is in the reverse. World in reverse. Hmm. So this man's world is going to reverse, right? Is it, if this individual doesn't get out of his trap, then yeah, something in his world will get reversed, right? You have to upside down the world, right? Okay, on the other side of that, we have the sun in reverse, right? It's pretty much like that world, right? The sun in reverse. So that means that, there's no happiness. Someone's not happy right now and in the dark about something, right? Queen of Swords is on the case, right? And I think this is Six of Wands. We're going to put that there like that there. All right, so we got the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, right? This is you can say she's a bitchy figure. She's kind of bitchy, right? Especially like this, right? She bitchy like this, but at least here she's strong and she's bitchy about it, but she's talking the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can't really deny her right here. She's upright. But when she like this, she got that sword pointed down. Yeah, you don't want to mess with that person. That person is dishonest. They are, lacking sincerity. They just talk too much and they talk too harsh. They need to be quiet. That's what this is. All right. And then at the end, you got the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, right? Okay. Six of Wands. The Nine of Swords is in the reverse. So whatever, somebody comes out of their head, right? Nine of Cups following that, right? So there's a wish fulfillment. Somebody comes out of their head, they get recognized, right? But there are still some challenges as we got the Three of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups. So there's some fake friends, right? Right behind that is the Four of Wands. Oh, okay. So it looks like fake friends want to invite somebody out, right? We got the Ten of Cups in reverse and the Three of Swords. That's betrayal. So here's interesting. This is interesting, right? The Star is in reverse. So it's like a defaming, right? A hope that is lost, right? Two of Cups. There is the Emperor, right? And then the Seven of Swords. It's like you get the Two of Cups, you get the Emperor, right? So somebody's interested in the Emperor or partnering with an Emperor, but someone is challenging you, right? Seven of Wands is in reverse, Ten of Wands is in reverse, right? Or perhaps someone's coming out of the pressure behind their choice, something like that, right? High Priestess, there's secrets on the table, right? Okay. All right. So yeah, in a nutshell, though, if we can break this down to a quick nutshell, right? It's these first few cards are looking like it's talking directly about how you're going to deal during the solstice, right? You're going to attack the areas of your life that that aren't correct, right? Your traps, right? You're going to deal with your traps, right? It's not a time to be materialistic, right? It's not a time to be all out in the world, right? The world is in reverse, so we go home. We go home, do some meditation, chill out, right? This wasn't on the top. This was this. This was the Six of Wands. Uh, yeah, yeah, and right. So we said right. The Six of Wands, right? Someone is celebrating, right? Someone is celebrating someone else, right? But this represents sadness for someone, and this person is a Queen of Swords in reverse, right? Watching this individual get celebrated is not what this individual wants to do, right? Yeah. So, tarot is speaking about a worldly kind of a situation where, there's, people having problems with people, you whatever with all of that. Right now, it's about a time of going in, right? Right now, I'm not, me, myself personally, you know what I mean? This is like the holy days. This is what I consider the holy days, right? And these are the only true holy days because, like I said, it's something that happens in the cosmos right now. Something's going on in space that affects you right now, no matter what your religion is. You know what I mean? So they are truly the holy days, right? So this is a time that you concentrate on that. Right? You concentrate on being holy, right? Concentrate on being holy, right? Hey, the truth is, Jesus lived a lot more like this and me than than anybody would ever even recognize. You know what I'm saying? I won't get into all that though. But yeah, so acknowledge the Amen Hetep. Hey, anybody got any questions? Anybody got any concerns? Anybody want to say something? We've been on this for about a half hour. So yeah, if anybody has anything to say, we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Um, and if not, we're gonna close this out. All right. So it's looking like we good. All right. Well, folks, I hope you got something out of that, right? Hopefully you can take that, right? That Amen is something that you can use, right? God is talking to the collective saying, Amen. Observe the time, right? This is the time for Amen. This is the time for being content, right? With just you and what's going on in your mind, right? This is where you take your mind to somewhere where it's nice, right? Right? So this is what you focused on, right? for the purpose of correcting what's in here, right? That's what we do. We don't, just live willy nilly, right? Yeah, I mean, you can, of course, you got, people who live willy nilly, that's all good. You live willy nilly, right? But what you really want to do, and as a point of being effective while you're here, is grow your spirit some. Grow your spirit through your activities, through your correcting of your faults, your correcting of your mistakes, things like that, your weaknesses. You know what I mean? You constant. The only way that the fields, grow is if you water the plants, right? So this is what that is. This is watering the plants, right? So over the solstice, make sure you water your plants, folks. And yeah, I'm gonna say peace and love, and we can do this another time. Peace.